joined by Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck, a lot to like from this one, 98-70. I hope you're not sour as you were after the Mars Hill game, an utterly dominant performance, especially thanks to that 56-13 run from the 16-minute mark in the first half to the 16-minute mark in the second half. What'd you do to really put the Bobcats in a tough spot?
Well, first of all, this score is really not indicative of what they're capable of doing. They've already beaten Lenore-Ryan in our league. They've beaten Catawba in our league. They've beaten Brevard from our league. So they were undefeated against the South Atlantic Conference. And we were very concerned. But, after the way we played at Mars Hill, we came back from Thanksgiving and had 3 really intense days of practice, some very intense meetings, some really just ironing out some wrinkles, some things that I was seeing that I wasn't pleased with. And as I told you in that after the Mars Hill game, that I'm ultimately responsible for the product on the floor, and so I'm thankful that our guys responded in the practice environment, and then we were able to come out here today with confidence and purpose and perform in such a way that obviously we got the win.
So much to talk about from this one. You've got 4 players who finished in double figures. Antoine Davis had 20 at the half. Ish Sanders had 17 at the half. What was clicking for that duo? They're usually good, but they were on another plane of existence in that first half.
I really think that one of the meetings we had during that Thanksgiving holiday was with our veterans, and I just told those guys, man, you all need to have a greater sense of purpose and urgency about this thing, because every time we play a game, it's one less game you have to play, you seniors in particular. And I thought those guys responded. I really think that some of the things that were said sunk in, and I think they came out tonight really focused to make a point to themselves, really not to make a point within our team to one another that we know we're capable.
On top of their performances, you've got Josh Rogers, the sophomore, reels in the first double-double of his career with 10 points and 11 rebounds. And then your other post, Carson Brooks, 10 and 8. That's not too shabby from 2 young guys inside.
Yeah, I was very pleased. Another thing we made a big deal about was our rebounding. And, Josh in particular, he and I have had several talks in the last few days. And I could tell that very first possession, and that first 5 possessions, he was flying around at and above rim level. And so when I see that he had the double-double, his first in his career, I couldn't be more happy for him. Carson had a little foul issue there initially, was able to stay poised, worked his way through it, and was able to still give us some good numbers. I'm just pleased with performance. When you look at the defense, we want our numbers to be a little bit better than they were tonight. But I think really the second half, the big challenge I think we faced at half, we had such a distinct advantage, and we challenged our guys to come out. And of course, I started playing multiple rotations and multiple combinations. So our numbers in the second half obviously weren't as good, but I saw enough to know that we're capable.
They weren't as good, but to be fair, Lees-McRae was shooting around 34% at about the 10-minute mark, and that's when you went to a 4 freshman, 1 sophomore lineup. That's not to knock anybody on the court, but
those guys are in the process of establishing reputations and establishing confidence, because they don't get to play a lot. But yeah, I understand what that was about. But again, overall, I'm very pleased for what I saw to Josh in particular, and then obviously with Ish's accomplishment tonight. Say something about it, Cab, because I'm so fired up for him. I really am.
I was saving it for last, but you're forcing my hand. Ish Sanders, now the program's all-time leading scorer in the Division II era.
Yeah.
Passes Kyle Gribble with his 23 tonight. We've mentioned it several times throughout the broadcast.
There he is. Ish, don't leave yet. He's probably going to see. You know what? I knew what's happening. He's going. Ish has got a sweet tooth, and his grandmother usually brings him Dunkin' Donuts, and there they are. I've spotted them from here even. He's got to go lay claim to his Dunkin' Donuts for you.
He has to bring me one when he comes on air
to
talk
see,
about his accomplishment.
I've got the kind of relationship with her where she's actually brought me my own box of Munchkins on more than one occasion.
I need to meet this woman, so I get the little box of Dunkin'
Munchkins.
Donuts.
They're called Munchkins.
Munchkins.
Yeah.
Munchkins.
25 count. Okay.
You want to keep talking basketball, or you want to talk
Let's go back.
food?
Yeah, let's go back to the basketball.
The rest of this. Turnovers, which is in fact a dessert, but we're not talking about the dessert. We're talking about the giveaway on the basketball court. 19 for Lees-McRae,
Yeah.
and had double digits at the half, 11. You turn those 11 points into 22 first-half points off turnovers.
Right.
I mean, you do the same thing defensively every game, but what was it about the defensive pressure that was causing that in that first half?
Typically, when we start a game, we don't open up in one of our particular defensive stunts is a trapping package, and we sort of save that. But again, after the Mars Hill game, I wanted to come out and really sort of turn up the pressure, and so those traps forced some quick decisions on their part, and we were fortunate enough to get some deflections and steals.
Did you almost call the Mars Hill game a debacle?
I did. You did. You picked up on that.
I've been around
Yeah.
you a little too
Yeah.
long if I'm picking up
That's
on
where I
that.
was going with it.
Final question after the 98-70 win. What are you eating? Celebration for tonight?
Well, you know,
Before we stay on food.
of course.
Since you've drawn me into this, I'm going to finish with it.
Well, you know where I always go. Gondolier.
Of course.
Scott Freeman Gondolier. We've got pizzas in the locker room, obviously. So that's what we're going to do tonight.
Chuck, pleasure as always, and congratulations on a scrumptious 98-70 victory over the Bobcats.
Thank you.